Hi, I'm Danny,
I'm Sam.
and this is
Business in a Brew. We'll be poring over business stories,
and talking about things that interest us in the world of business.
so we'd like you to just take a few minutes out, listen.
Yeah, we'd love it if you join our conversation with us. Hello.
Morning. Hello. Right, this today's episode.
Yes.
Hopefully you'll find it quite entertaining.
Okay.
But you remember we did the episode a while back about Dyson?
James Dice?
Yeah, and
Yes.
how many iterations it took to invent his first
Thousands.
vacuum cleaner. Yeah,
Thousands.
yeah. It's about 5,000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we talked the other week about Kentucky Fried Chicken and how many iterations
Colonel Sanders.
to make the recipe. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't to make the recipe, it was 1,009 times it was rejected by people.
Right, yeah. All right,
That's a
rejected.
lot
But
of
it's an
rejection.
iteration though, because
It is an
adjusted
iteration,
each time.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
He
this
does not have rejection sensitivity.
this story is about an invention
Okay.
that actually literally had, I think, about 3 or 4 iterations.
Okay.
And they weren't really iterations. They were kind of just different badges on the same thing by the looks
Okay.
of it. Okay. There's actually a British company did a fraud.
Did a fraud. Did some
Yeah.
frauding.
They did some fraud, yeah. Now, I'll go into it, but just to kind of give you a little lead in, we're aware that we're always being told that terror's just around the corner and that we live in a terrifying world, yeah.
Not quite as bad as the Cold War era, but yes.
Well, no, but it's more scary in the Cold War area. At least it was only one thing we had to worry about.
That's
you
true.
know. But that we should all be terrified of people who are different from us,
Mhm.
which is kind of a human thing. Yeah. It is just a human thing. It's what we are, Homo sapiens. We're terrified of those people over there. All of us over here, we're fine. Yeah. So this product I'm going to talk about is one that kind of is supposed to make people safer.
Okay.
Yeah. To feel safer
Right, yeah.
without actually making them any safer, which is quite
Okay.
funny, yeah.
So a placebo effect.
One might say that.
Okay.
With a lot of money being earned along the way, of course. Yeah. So anyway, so that thing about them other, it's the media right-wing people who are basically perpetuating that whole thing these days. But previously, we'd had quite a bad history of meddling around in other countries, and which has come back to bite us.
Like imperialism, you mean?
Yeah, maybe reverse imperialism,
Okay.
but it's coming home to roost, unfortunately. Anyway, so this story, which I'm largely going to credit the BBC for, because they did a long-running investigation on it, and actually, even though there are various sources about it out there, and it's a salutary tale of not believing everything that you see on a packet. Almost.
Okay, yeah.
Don't just read what's on the box. Test out
Do
the
some
product to make sure it
investigation,
works. Yeah. And this invention, this thing that was created, and I'll go into what it is, purported to be a panacea, basically a cure-all for security, for the security services to use, that could basically make their job as last line of defence, for example, at checkpoints and things like that, and even airport security, a little easier. All they needed was something.
Can't work out what this is.
To sniff out things like explosives and drugs. Yeah.
Like a dog.
Yeah, well, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you didn't have to feed it. You didn't have to take it to the vet.
Yeah.
And it occupied a tiny space and a very, very nice little case. Yeah.
That's the important bit, the packaging.
And looked really good.
Yeah.
Now, it not only defrauded companies, security services, and government agencies around the world, it was even promoted by the British Department of Trade and Industry, Royal Engineers Export Support Team, and even uniformed service people at trade events for such things. Yeah.
That's
So it
embarrassing.
kind of fooled a lot of people.
Yeah.
I present to you
Yes, I'm ready.
the ADE 651.
Ooh, no sexy name to go with the sexy
Surprise,
packaging.
titled
Yeah.
Magic Wand.
There's still a magic wand on the market. I don't think it does what you think it does.
Yeah.
It's a different product.
But this, instead of what you're talking about,
Yeah.
this is a bomb and everything else detector.
Bomb and everything else.
Pretty much. That's not what they said in the marketing, but pretty much that's what it's supposed
That's
to do.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So ADE, standing for Advanced Detection Equipment.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Fine.
Okay. So this was marketed as a bomb detector, and somehow it managed to end up being widely used in various countries, including Pakistan, Iraq, Mexico, and others, in spite of having no proven scientific basis for its efficacy.
So to be clear, all these countries were just waving their magic wand.
Yep. And I'll go into how it purported to work.
Right,
yeah?
okay, yeah.
And it's going to surprise you.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm ready.
Okay. So
did it work by magic?
The designs and claims, it was apparently made in the UK.
Okay, yeah.
But it wasn't. It's made in China.
Okay, fair. Yep.
It was, just to describe it, it was a black plastic handheld grip.
Yep.
With a swivelling retractable aerial. The aerial's like something off of a radio, the telescopic
pull-out ones.
Yes.
Okay, like for the phones in the 90s.
Pretty much. And apparently could detect explosive drugs and other substances from a distance using electrostatic magnetic ion attraction or nuclear quadrupole resonance.
What?
How about that? Right.
I mean, they're all words.
Yeah. I mean, they sound fantastic, don't they? Fantastic being almost too good to be true in this case. It was marketed as a tool for detecting bombs, weapons, and illicit materials without the need for physical contact. Okay? Right, and I'll come into it. How it worked was that you had a credit card-sized detector card, which had a sticker stuck on it that had been soaked in the vapors of the substance it was supposed to detect. For example, explosive residue. Right? You put the sticker in a jar, like a Kilner jar with a clasp on it. You imagine that with the thing, with the substance that you were going to detect, and it would soak up its vapors. You then stick the sticker on the card and insert the card into the grip, and off you go. And it would pick up that thing.
In theory, you could have like 15 different cards for 15 different substances.
Yes, you could.
But
I know.
half the stuff doesn't give off vapors. What are you talking about?
Well, that stuff does. It does. It all gives. Yeah, they all have. Anyway, so,
terrorists don't give off terrorist vapors.
The idea, no, the substance.
A terrorist in a Kilner jar.
Substances, not people.
All right.
Anyway, right. So the aerial would swivel around and point at the substance being detected, and that was the general idea.
This feels like someone banging on the table when you're doing a séance.
It's brilliant to have, but it's brilliant. That's the idea. That's exactly what we think it's supposed to do. But
wow,
it turns out the device was actually originally called the Gopher Golf Ball Finder. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
A golf ball finder that was originally sold in the US. Okay.
Not the UK.
It was programmed to detect the elements found in all golf balls.
I thought they were hollow. Are they
They're not hollow, no.
What's in a golf ball?
Well, all sorts of compounds, but there used to be a center which was molten latex,
like the
around a little bag,
right,
and then elastic bands all the way around it. You imagine concentric elastic bands all the way around it, and then a hard shell on it. How do I know that? Because I took one apart.
Why?
To see what was inside it. So
Get a girlfriend
cut the outside off and cut through each one of the bands, and eventually what happens is you get this kind of like...
I can't believe you did that.
I always wanted to know what was going on inside things. And eventually you'd puncture the internal part and you get a huge jet of molten latex coming out. Absolutely amazing thing. They're made of different stuff these days. Anyway, so this thing was.
To be clear, just to jump back slightly, was the golf ball gopher attracted to the molten latex, the elastic bands, or the plastic casing?
Well, I tell you what. Why don't you ask me that at the end of it, and then we'll perhaps work out how effective it was in locating golf balls.
Not very, or it would still be sold as a golf ball gopher.
Yeah, well, it then had a new label called the Quadro Tracker, which basically was purported to pick out drugs and explosives.
Right.
The FBI investigated it in the States and found fraud in 1996. Okay, right. Yeah. Then a British man involved with the device, according to the BBC, returned to the UK with it and rebranded it as the Mole. Home Office tested it and it was found to be completely useless. Independent tests and investigations, including by the BBC and the US military, reported the ADE 651 had no scientific basis and did not function as advertised. Okay.
It's just a stick with an aerial.
It pretty much was.
And a card.
Yeah. It was a gimmick. In reality, and here's the crux of it, in reality, it was an empty plastic grip using a swivel antenna mounted on a plastic handle, which would move randomly when the user walked around.
So it was like air that was moving it.
Yeah, well, pretty all.
Before someone wiggling it.
Yeah, it's insane. It contained no working components or technology that could detect explosives or any other substances. It was essentially a glorified dowsing rod. So the sticks, or the bits of coat hanger, and when they cross over,
that's where water is.
Exactly, yeah.
That's where the explosives are.
People still believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
So somewhere there's a little bit of belief coming into it, but I think that thing it was determined by how your hand or grip was oriented, which way.
Well, I told you the other night, I accidentally dropped a cup of Malibu because my wrist spasmed.
Yeah.
If I was holding it, they'd be exposing us all over the place.
Be all over the place, yeah. So the British government banned its export in 2010, calling it fraudulent and completely ineffectual, right? So you're getting this litany of rejection. So then the fraudsters went overseas.
Sensible.
In search of their market.
Fine, yeah.
Ellipsis.
People with less standards.
So it turned up in Iraq, and it was widely used by the Iraq security forces during the 2000s.
They didn't feel they needed to test it prior to use.
Despite its lack of effectiveness, it was reportedly purchased for tens of thousands of dollars per unit. This thing originally sold in the States for, I think, $20.
Guy must have been laughing his head off. Iraq will buy it. They won't even test it.
It must have been infectious. I can just imagine how someone would think that they were going to get away with it. Is another.
Well, he
thing.
did.
Yeah.
And which government's going to go? Yeah, we bought the magic wand.
Yeah.
Could you give us our money back? No one's going to admit to that.
I know that is embarrassing, isn't it? Well, its use in Iraq was linked to numerous security failures, including the inability to develop to detect bombs that led to devastating attacks, resulting in significant loss of life. Yeah, so they were kind of.
Sorry, to be clear, this was their only method of detection. They didn't use their eyeballs.
No, well, I guess there were others, but if they were putting all their faith in this thing, and it had like a little pocket kind of thing that was connected to like a holster, and I think it looked pretty good, but how many people? But all it would take is someone who has the knowledge of the British government and the FBI rejecting it to perhaps think actually this is not particularly it's not going to pick anything up.
Their procurement department needs a word.
But I guess you'd be clutching at anything to help make your job a bit easier in that. So there's no accounting for how decisions like this were made.
Yeah, true.
And if you've got something that's purported to be a British invention, it said "Made in the UK" stamped on it. And you've got people, officials, allowing it to effectively be exported. So the creator, James McCormick, was arrested and later convicted of fraud in the UK, and that would be in 2013. And he was sentenced to 10 years in prison for selling it, which he knew apparently. Sorry?
Could it be done for manslaughter?
No, I don't think so. Apparently he did know it didn't work.
That's funny, that.
And it was sold to Iraq, Lebanon, and others, as I've explained. The Iraqis spent a reported £53 million on the devices at around £5,000 a piece. Yeah. Some sold for as much as 25 grand. Yeah. And the case itself highlighted the dangers of exploiting fear and insecurity to sell fraudulent technology, particularly in conflict zones. And that's really what it is. It's exploitation.
That fear and insecurity exists in the general populace. You wouldn't have thought it was quite such a driving force in decision making at security force level.
To make decisions, but if there's no oversight to that, we at least have a government, we have a framework in place for things like that. But even then, it was able to be sold.
At least we tested it.
Yeah. So, it's similar to the story of the woman who invented the blood testing machine. They had no basis upon anything.
Yeah.
But basically test any problem with blood. Theranos. Yeah. Conning millions of people out of money in the US. It's a bit like that. But it's believed to have contributed to numerous deaths, particularly in Iraq, where the device was extensively used. For bombs and explosives. And the ineffectiveness led to catastrophic security failures, allowing bombs to go undetected, resulting in deadly attacks. And these are there was a lot of intense insurgent activity at the time in the late 2000s. So it gave the security professionals false sense of security. They were told it would work, and it didn't. But they didn't know that they didn't know it didn't, because it wasn't their job to question.
No, they were given a device. They said did this.
Yeah. Instances, for example, 2009, devastating bombings in Baghdad killed hundreds of people. These attacks occurred despite the widespread use of the AD 651 at checkpoints, of course, in spite of security experts.
The first time they were like user error.
Yeah.
Probably you're just not doing it right.
No, that's pretty much what was going on. Yeah. Security experts and officials concluded the device's inability to detect explosive allowed these attacks to succeed. No surprise there. Left people vulnerable to attack that might have been prevented with proper equipment. The exact number of deaths directly attributable to its failure, to the device's failure, is difficult to quantify, but it's widely acknowledged that the device's use contributed towards the loss of life. But there's been further fraud since then, of course. Surprised to know. So the GT200 remote substance detector, sold by a fella in mainly in Mexico, Thailand, Middle East, and Africa, and the device retailed at $5,000. But the highest price it achieved was $500,000.
This is the same device.
Yeah.
Repackaged.
The Alpha 6, manufactured by Samuel and Joan Tree, was sold to Egypt, Thailand, and Mexico, usually at $2,000 a piece. The highest sales price was $15,500. They were given time behind bars, and the wife was ordered to do 300 hours unpaid community work. It's even been reported that the device has resurfaced yet again, and is now able to detect. Have a guess.
No, I don't know. Is it golf balls?
HIV and hepatitis.
It's able to detect the vapours of HIV.
Apparently.
Oh.
So this is a bit of a sorry, very sorry tale, with people getting killed in the process. The people selling it making a lot of money, and you just can't. It's this kind of story that you just couldn't make up that was possible.
Like a really good film.
It would do, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we ought to do a session on Theranos, though, actually, because that's...
I want to say her name was Elizabeth, was it? Did I make that
I
up?
think you're right. I can't remember her name, but who'd believe it? Even at the highest levels of security...
I don't understand anyone who goes, this doesn't work. I'm going to give it a go
but
anyway.
Theoretically, take it apart, have a look at it. Has it got anything that's inside? Has it got a printed circuit
if
board
you'd have
inside
taken it apart, it'd have been empty. It was an empty shaft.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. I don't know. It's just, it kind of beggars belief that this our own, American government, FBI, the American military, the UK security services, and the government all basically found that it was complete.
No, but I'm quite proud that we did in fact test it. We didn't just go, I'll have 5,000 units.
Yeah.
Because there were other countries that did.
Yeah.
So I've got this vision of a back room with like 100 Kilner jars in it, with all these little stickers in them, collecting the vapours of different criminal activity.
Amazing. But then go and add hepatitis and HIV into it as well.
That's just weird.
Today we're detecting HIV. Put your card in. Off you go.
What if you got them mixed up and you would like label everyone with something, and actually they were all just carrying, I don't know, incendiary devices.
Some chocolate from duty free. What an insane story.
The backbone of someone to keep relabeling it again. It's all right, fine. It's fine. I'll just go somewhere else. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and it will resurface again. There's no doubt about it. These resurfacings are happening. Maybe we should just go back to detecting golf balls again. But can you imagine?
I'm not very good at that either.
If it wasn't detecting the golf balls, people walking up and down with one of those.
I can imagine though. Like, I thought you were going to tell me golf balls had metal in them, and it was more like a metal detector.
It's an everything detector.
I could use one of those at home when I lose my car keys and stuff.
You can imagine giving it to your son and say, can you just use this to find my car keys? He'd be gone for days.
But he might find some other useful stuff in the house.
You'd tidy everything up.
I can't believe... No, we wouldn't. I can't believe that. Oh, that's making me laugh. I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's terrible. If it weren't so tragic with the number of lives lost,
it's very funny.
Yeah, it would be hilarious. Yeah.
Fair enough. Thanks for that.
Question everything.
Okay. Yeah. All right, I'll do that from now on.
Thanks for your participation.
Thanks. Thanks so much for listening and being a part of today's episode.
If you like what you've heard, or if you feel there's something missing, or you want to ask any questions, please get in contact.
And if you love listening to us as much as we love talking to you, subscribe, download, leave us a review. All the love helps.
Thank you.